الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا بين يدي الساعة من يطع الله ورسوله فقد رشد واهتدى ومن يعص الله ورسوله فإنه قد غوى وإنه لا يضر إلا نفسه ولا يضر الله شيئا. إخوة الكرام، قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه الكريم بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لئن شكرتم لأزيدنكم ولئن كفرتم إن عذابي لشديد. وقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا يرحم الله من لا يرحم الناس. وقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا يغفر الله من لا يغفر الناس. Dear brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, it is a great honor and it is a great blessing, especially for me on my part, to be able to give the bidding Khutbah of Ramadan, of the calendar year 2017. And alhamdulillah, I am blessed to be standing up here and reflecting upon what we did, what we accomplished this year. And so, inshallah, in today's khutbah, I want to focus on 3 topics. I want to focus initially on what Jumu'ah is and look at what we've done this past Ramadan. And then I want to talk about preparing for Eid, the preparations and Eid itself. And the third aspect I want to focus on, which will be the most important topic, is not letting this Ramadan go to waste. And so when we look back to what we did this Ramadan, there are a lot of good things that we did, and there are a lot of things we could have worked on. That's the reality of it. For example, any person that plays sports, for example, I'm going to use Bulls because I'm a Chicagoan. So the Bulls, if they lose a game, after they lose the game, they got to go watch their highlights. Each player individually has to see what they did right, what they did wrong, and where they can improve. And as Muslims, that is our job as well. We look at this past Ramadan. We do this we should be doing this on a daily basis, but we look at this past Ramadan in its entirety. We see where we did well and where we didn't go as far as we could have. And we try and change ourselves. And so there are a multitude of things that, alhamdulillah, I see a lot of brothers here that I saw throughout the month of Ramadan, where we spent time in the masjid. We prayed Tarawih, we prayed the Hajj last night. We recited the Qur'an. We had a khatam in the masjid. More importantly, we tried to fix our character, staying away from the evil, enjoying on what is good. تَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَتَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنكَرِ. To be enjoying in what is good and to forbid what is evil. And we didn't only work on our own character, we worked on the characters of people around us, just by influencing them based on how we acted upon ourselves and our lives. And more importantly, Ramadan, one of the most important aspects, especially as a kid, is not being able to eat food. So we as a group, we as individuals, learn to appreciate the ni'mah of Allah. And Allah Azza wa Jal says, لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. And if you thank Allah Azza wa Jal, He will increase for you. وَلَئِن كَفَرْتُمْ إِنَّ عَذَابِي لَشَدِيدٌ. And Allah Azza wa Jal gives you the polar opposite of it as well. He says, and if you disbelieve, if you do not appreciate Allah Azza wa Jal and the ni'mah He gives you, إِنَّ عَذَابِي لَشَدِيدٌ. He will have a severe torment for you. And in Surah Al-Rahman, Allah Azza wa Jal says, وَلَوْ أَنَّمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ مِنْ شَجَرَةٍ أَقْلَامٌ وَالْبَحْرُ يَمُدُّهُ مِنْ بَعْدِهِ سَبْعَةُ أَبْحُرٍ مَا نَفِدَتْ كَلِمَاتُ اللَّهِ. And if you were to start trying to count the ni'mah, the blessings that Allah Azza wa Jal has bestowed upon you, and all of the wood in the forest, all of the wood in the world was to be your paper, and all of the water was to be the ink for you to start writing praising Allah Azza wa Jal. And on top of that, the ink, that is the water, was replaced 7 times after. You would still not be able to write all of the ni'mah, all of the blessings that Allah Azza wa Jal has bestowed upon you. And so, alhamdulillah, we had a lot of benefit this Ramadan. We created bonds of brotherhood and sisterhood. We created facilities where we had iftar every single day. We had people volunteering for that. We had people spending their time in the masjid, spending their time with their brothers and with their sisters and smiling at them. And so, alhamdulillah, there was a lot of good, but unfortunately, there was also some bad. There were some things that we could have worked on. And this is more of an individual reflection, and this is something that has to come from your heart. And this is something that I noticed in myself. I felt like I didn't pray as much. I could have prayed more. I could have spent more time sitting in the masjid rather than sitting in a room. Spending more time with the brothers over here. I know a couple brothers used to come here at Asr and stay there till the end of Isha. And so I could have spent some time, read the books that they were reading, read Qur'an with them, spend some time connecting ourselves with Allah Azza wa Jalla. And at some point, our taqwa, our God consciousness was at an all-time low. Sometimes at some portions in this month of Ramadan. And so we need to look at individual things that we felt like we didn't do as well on, and we need to work on them. The reality is, and the beauty of Ramadan is, there is a lot of barakah in the time. There is a lot of blessing in the time that we get. Alhamdulillah, I see brothers who used to stay there from 6:30 to 12:30, stay for a little longer, talk to me till 1 o'clock, go back home, wake up for suhoor around 3:30, have work at 7, 8 o'clock. And so in the 4 hours of sleep they got, they were able to function all day, all night, come to the masjid, recite the Qur'an, stay here for iftar, stay here for dinner, stay here for Taraweeh. And that was in a span of 4 to 6 hours. And this is not counting having food, having coffee, or any energy drinks. They didn't have that because they were fasting. And so the barakah in the time, the blessing of the time that we had, it is something that is past and that will not return until another year. I pray to Allah Azza wa Jalla that He grants us another Ramadan. But if He doesn't, because the reality is we do not know when death will befall us. And if He doesn't, then you gotta ask yourself, have I done enough? Did I do what I could have done? Did I do the best to what I could have done to please Allah Azza wa Jalla? Because no matter how many actions you do, you will never be able to go to Jannah because of your actions. It is by the mercy of Allah Azza wa Jalla. But we as human beings, as moral human beings, our responsibility and our job is وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسِ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. We have not created jinn and mankind except that they worship me. That is what Allah Azza wa Jalla said. And so we try our best. We put in our best foot, we put in our best effort, and then we leave the rest to Allah Azza wa Jalla's mercy. And so I want to focus on the second aspect, preparing for Eid and Salatul Eid itself. And so before Ramadan ends, there are 2 obligations that are very important to fulfill, of many. There are 2 very important ones. The first one is paying Zakat al-Fitr. And this is incumbent upon every Muslim that has the means and that has the income to pay for it. And it's $10 per household. In an authentic hadith, the Prophet ﷺ says, your soul is not accepted, it's stuck between the heavens and the earth until Zakat al-Fitr is paid. And so, alhamdulillah, we have a black box over there, we have envelopes where we're collecting, it's $10 per head. But Zakat al-Fitr, it's important not only because it's taking money out of your bank, it's also important because the people who are less fortunate, the Muslims who are less fortunate, they have a means, they have an ability to make the most out of this Eid, to have it as a celebration for them as well. And so it is a communal effort. In that regard, Eid is a communal effort and it's a communal festival as well. Another very important aspect is forgiving people and rekindling the ties of kinship. Oftentimes, when we're fasting, when we're in the state of extreme hunger and thirst, we will let our emotions get the best of us. And it happens to all of us. And then sometimes you'll either think something wrong of a brother and sister, or you'll say something wrong. And there will be an exchange of words, and worse yet, maybe even had. But being able to look past these differences and being able to realize the reason we worked on this was for the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jalla, and asking for His forgiveness, asking for the forgiveness of the brother and Allah Azza wa Jalla, that is very important. And this has to be done before Ramadan. You have to cleanse your heart. Because Ramadan is the month of mercy, the month of guidance. And if you can't forgive on this month, when are you going to forgive? The Prophet ﷺ said, "La yahmilullah wa la yahmilnas." Allah Azza wa Jalla will not have mercy on a person who cannot have mercy on other people. So if I, as an individual, can't be merciful to somebody else who has wronged me, Allah Azza wa Jalla has no need, has no business with the person that is not merciful to other people. And the Prophet ﷺ says, "La yaghfirullah wa la yaghfirun." The person who does not forgive other people, Allah will not forgive him either. And so it is very important, because at the end of the day, we know that we want to gain the pleasure of Allah and we want to gain His mercy and His forgiveness. And that is the only way we'll get into Jannah. And so it is very important to realize that something as simple as, hey, he looked at me the wrong way, or he didn't smile at me, or he didn't give me this specific food, or he only gave me this much of this food, that is not enough for you as an individual to lose your rahmah. It is not enough for you as an individual to lose the forgiveness of Allah Azza wa Jalla. And so it is time to take a step back and reflect, and think about what has gone on this entire Ramadan, and gone on throughout the year, and be able to forgive. There's a very famous hadith narrated by Abdullah ibn Amr ibn al-As, radiallahu anhu. He was a Sahabi of the Prophet ﷺ. And so they were sitting in their gathering with the Prophet ﷺ. And the Prophet ﷺ says, the person that will be coming next, he is the people of Jannah. He is among the people of Jannah. And so the people see, and it's a person that walks in, and then he walks out another time. And this repeats 3 times. And the same conversation happens, and the same person comes in. And so Abdullah ibn Amr, radiallahu anhu, he says, you know what? I want to see what this guy does. What is it that this person does? I'm sure he prays. He fasts all the time. He prays all night. That is why the Prophet ﷺ said what he said. And so he makes up an excuse. He says, you know, I need a place to stay. Can I stay in your house? And this was the courteous relationship that the Ansar had, that the people, inhabitants of Medina had. And they said, the person said, yes, of course, please stay with me. And so he gives him a room, he gives him a place to stay, and he stays. For 3 days, he notices this guy. The first day, he was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to go with him wherever he's going. Okay, he goes to the marketplace, he's doing fine. He's not really doing anything extra. He comes home, he spends some time with his family. Okay, cool. He goes to sleep. And, okay, this might just be the thing. He's probably putting me to sleep, and he's just going to keep praying all night long. And so he waits, and he sees nothing too special, just praying his tahajjud, which was very common for the Sahaba. Unfortunately, it is not for us. However, it was very common for the Sahaba to pray tahajjud. So he's like, all right, he's not doing anything extra. Let me see what he does the second day. If the brothers can move up front as much as they can to make room for the brothers in the back, that we would appreciate. And so on the second day, he goes and he checks upon this brother again. And he's trying to see, what is this person doing that is so beneficial that the Prophet ﷺ said that he is among the people of Jannah. Nothing special again. And then a third day passes by. And he says, I need to talk to you. I need to ask you a question. The Prophet ﷺ, he said 3 times on 3 separate occasions, he said, the person that is coming next is of the inhabitants of Jannah. And all 3 times you came in. I want to know what it is that you do that has gained you that rank. And this was the love that the Sahaba had for each other. It was not out of jealousy, it was not out of animosity, it was out of love for each other and wanting each other to see each other in Jannah. That is why they asked. That is why they inquired. And so the Sahaba says, I don't know. I don't think I do anything special. But you know, if I were to think of one thing that I do that I don't think other people do, when I go to bed, I forgive. I go through my entire day and I forgive people for every single thing that they might have done to me. I forgive people before I go to sleep. I go to sleep with a clean slate, essentially is what he says. That might just be it. And so it is very important, and this is something we should be doing on a daily basis, and it's not too hard. It's not too hard to make a habit out of it. It might be hard to implement it. Maybe people have wronged you. Maybe people have been very mean to you. They've not treated you well, whether it was financially, physically, socially, economically. Anyway, they might have not treated you, and it might be hard to get over it. But when you have Jannah waiting on the other side, with your ibadat, with your akhlaq, added on with your istighfar, where you forgive other people and you ask for your own forgiveness, then what is this one little argument about? How much is $2,000 worth to you as a bargain for Jannah? That is the question we need to ask ourselves. Sometimes it's as simple as, you know what, he didn't give me biryani, he didn't give me that one, he gave me this other type of biryani. That's not really a reason to stop talking to a brother. That really is not. And so this was a very important time, because this is a very important hadith, because it really does show us that that forgiveness is very important between people and asking for forgiveness from Allah Azza wa Jalla. Eid al-Fitr, it is a festival. And so we need to make it joyous, we need to make it memorable. Which is why the Prophet ﷺ says, you cannot fast on the day of Eid. Because it is a day of celebration, it is a day of joyous occasions. And we need to make it interesting not only for ourselves, but also for the kids, for the young generation. And I see a few young kids over here. They might not be related to you, but they are part of the community, they are part of the masjid. And they have to feel like this is Eid, this is their time of the year. Because we live in a society where come November, mid-November, and you've got like Christmas carols playing. Sometimes it's even all the way back in August, they'll have Christmas carols. And these kids, they're in tune to that, they're listening to it, they're like, wow, I really wish I could see that. I could witness that. I wish I got those gifts. Woke up in the middle of the night,